Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala Sayyidil Anbiya wal Mursaleen, wa ba'd. Those of us living in Irving would notice that sometimes as you're driving past, you'll see some stores, they'll hire a mascot, somebody dressed up in a really funny looking dress with a sign saying and dancing and saying, come to my shop, come to my shop. And it's a bit funny, but it really draws your attention. You're driving and you're focused on the road, and then you see this person, jumping up and, doing all sorts of antics, that it really draws your attention. And in the business world, that's the type of mentality people have with a very simple logic, and that is, if you want to draw somebody's attention, you have to be unique. If you're same, you're monotonous, then what's the difference between your store and somebody else's store? You have to make sure you bring something unique. And subhanAllah, when we study the lives of the Salaf, when we study the lives of the ulama, in their relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they themselves always seek out the best way to attract the attention of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They will say to themselves, last year I did X, Y, and Z. The year before that I did X, Y, and Z. I have a very monotonous relationship with Allah. So let me devise a way where I can improve my connection and break the monotony. And I just want to mention one incident that highlights this phenomenon of trying to change and revise and improve our ibadah on a constant basis so that we don't become tedious. There's a very famous muhaddith, his name was As-Sam'ani. Once he was with his students, they had a very late class, and instead of going home, they stayed in the house of their teacher. Late at night, around like 2, 3 o'clock, we can say for estimation's purpose, the students heard a noise and they realized that the teacher, he woke up and he went outside. So one particular student, he got a bit scared. He was wondering what's going on. Why is our teacher 2 o'clock at night going somewhere? So he decided to follow to see maybe if there's something of concern. So he noticed that his teacher went into the woods. There was a small lake over there, and he went behind him, and he's wondering if everything is all right with the teacher, when the teacher was just by the lake, and he went right inside of the water. So the student started to panic, and he's getting scared, and he's thinking, oh my God, should I just go back, call everybody? Is he going to drown? He's taking so long. Then all of a sudden, the teacher resurfaces, and he gets this sense of calm. But he was just so confused, like what happened? 2 o'clock at night, who goes to take a dip in the water? And, so the teacher comes out, and the teacher's shocked. He's like, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be asleep. He's like, no, I got concerned. I don't know what was happening. I thought you almost drowned. So the teacher said, look, I don't want you to see what I'm doing, and I don't want anybody to see. But I always thought to myself that whatever I do, everybody else does as well. I wanted to do something special that nobody else did. And I realized if I could go down into the water and do sajda, then I could claim on the Day of Judgment my forehead was in sajda and prostration on a ground that nobody else's forehead besides mine touched. And I really felt that that was something I can present. And I didn't want you to see it so nobody follows me. I wanted this to be something very specific. And you already seen it. But the lesson here is, let's say for instance, last year I only read half of the Quran. Let me try to improve and recite a bit more. Last year, I made it a point that I'd spend 10 minutes in the morning to read my Quran and my adhkar. Let me make it 15 minutes. Last year, I used to do it after Maghrib. This year, let me do it before Maghrib. If we change our schedule, not only will it allow us to increase, but it will give us a rekindled spirit. This is common in anything. They say, if you're working, they say if you're in front of a screen, don't be working and typing for longer than 15, 20, or even half an hour. Stand up, take a walk, stretch, and come back. Same thing with our ibadah. I'm praying my taraweeh. Last year, the year before that, I prayed without much focus. This year, I'm going to look at a translation. I'm going to look at the first page every single day. I'm going to make sure I know the translation of the first page. When we break the monotony and improve our practice, we begin to enjoy our ibadah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inspire us to be ready for Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to get closer to Him through all the beautiful actions that He has made easy for us. Jazakumullahu khairan. Inshallah, after the remaining sunan, we're going to have our weekly hadith dars. Everyone is requested to participate.